How do you like learning about supply chain? Do you like to go to conferences or webinars? Do you like reading stuff? Do you like watching videos? Well, we have got, blog posts everywhere, videos everywhere, but we've got some webinars coming up just for a change. And I'll tell you all about it in a moment. Okay, as you know, if you've been following this channel for long, you know that we love to share information. We have videos coming up here every week. We have a very extensive blog. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll put the link below. We've got all our stuff going on LinkedIn and Facebook. But I suddenly realized we haven't done webinars for so long. So we've actually got 4 coming up from the middle of February through till the end of March. Let me see if I can remember. I'll put a link down below with all the details of it. Free webinars, not going to be trying to sell you anything on them, don't worry. It's just something that we use to share knowledge with our ever-growing audience on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and so on. So what are the topics we're going to cover? We're going to cover inventory management, and one of our specialists, Kieran Hogan, is coming in, and he's such a guru on inventory. He's going to be going through, some of the things that people always get wrong with inventory management, some of the easy tips to fix it. I think he's even got, a little bit of a checklist to go through to help you fix up your own inventory. Heaps and heaps of stuff. I can't remember it all. The details are going to be on the link. So inventory management we're doing route scheduling, route planning. So depending on what part of the world you are, that might mean something different to you. But basically where you've got fleets of trucks going out making deliveries, how can you automate that? How can you make that all much more efficient? Again, I'm going to do that with one of our specialists called James Bannister. He's been great at doing this over the last few years. He reckons that if you haven't used systems to improve the performance of your delivery fleets, you're probably wasting 10 or 15% in terms of cost. So you want to have a look at that. It's not about selling you systems. We're just showing you the principles of how you can do this, and we'll give you some tips on how you can do it yourself. What's next? So that was inventory, routing. We're going to look at distribution networks. We've been doing heaps of those studies in our consulting business recently with really, really big businesses, but it's effective for small businesses too. You know how distribution networks, they just kind of grow up over time, don't they? And then you acquire businesses, divest businesses, and the distribution network doesn't quite do the job anymore. Maybe it's high cost and the service is not right, and you've got product crisscrossing between storage facilities and so on. We're going to walk you through the process of understanding some of the symptoms where there's something going wrong in your distribution network, and then we're going to show you different ways of, if you like, putting the thermometer in there and checking if you've got a problem, and then how you go about redesigning a distribution network. So that one. Great. I'm going to struggle now to remember the 4th one, warehousing. And one of our specialists, John Monk, is coming on with me to talk about warehousing. We're going to talk about what happens when your warehouse gets too full and you're trying to get more stuff in there. Do you go and rent another warehouse? Do you move into a bigger one? And no, you don't need to. He's got all kinds of things that he can share with you that will help you extend the life of your warehouse, probably getting 10, 15, 20% more product into your warehouse, how to be much more productive and reduce costs. So he's done this hundreds of times with our consulting clients, and we're going to be sharing all of that too. So we've got 4 webinars coming up. But it gets even better because we're repeating each of them twice. I don't know why I suggested this, but we're going to be doing, I think it's basically 10 a.m. time slots for sort of Australia, New Zealand, that sort of market, which is where we're based. And then I had the bright idea of let's try and do, I think it's a 2 p.m. slot for East Coast USA. And that will allow a lot more people to be able to watch it during the daytime. That's 6 a.m. our time. So if you're going to be watching it from the US, Canada, if we're looking a bit tired, it's because we got up at 4 in the morning to give it to you. So we've got 4 webinars, 2 different time zones. I have to say, we haven't done webinars for a while, but when we do them, they absolutely get packed out. So if you want to come along, I would advise jumping on that link and booking early. And also when you come along to the webinar, you'll get all the confirmation once you've booked in. But also when it's coming around time for the webinar, I always suggest to people jump on 10 minutes early, because you know what happens? You get about 300-400 people trying to jump onto the webinar, bang on 2 p.m. or whenever it's starting, and the system sort of slows down a little bit. So if some people jump on 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before, you're going to have a much easier ride. So ran through that really quickly, but I love doing webinars. I don't know why we haven't done them for so long. We've been doing a lot of live events over the last couple of years, and that gets a bit tiring and a bit darn expensive, actually, getting around the place. But webinars, so much easier to do, and we can reach so many more people. So we love doing those. Okay, so the details are down in the link below. I really look forward to seeing you on the webinar. But before you go, you know how it works on this channel. If you've got any comments, comment below, like, share, whatever you want to do. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. That way you know when the new videos are coming out, because we will get an email telling you about that, and they come out every week on a Wednesday. See you next week.